Yeah. All right, I will talk to you guys later, and I will see you next time. Bye.
I'm running late to work to tell y'all what happened with that story time, you know. Hold on. I'm going to try to run through it real quick in 10 minutes. If not, I guess I'll make a part 2, but hopefully I won't have to. I'm going to address this first. Did he come with a gift? What's in that bag?
So my best friend, who we can call Taylor, she came over for a sleepover. The whole night we talked about Jacob cheating on me, and she asked me why I had not broken up with him yet. So I told her why I wouldn't leave, and then she hyped me up. She was like, period sis, do what you gotta do. Well, then I came up with this super good plan for my best friend and I both to get gifts from him and use him. So then I came out and I said, you should be his side chick. Like for part 2. Part 2 about how my best friend and I were dating the same guy. So like I said before, he was cheating on me 24/7, but he was spending money on me 24.
So am I scared? No, not really. I feel like the comments prepared me. They were always telling me like somebody's bound to find out. And you know what, like I didn't really care about somebody finding out. I'm just more pissed off at the fact that somebody found my TikTok, pretended like they cared, and then went to go tell their mom. Worst part is that in the comment, she said that she understood my situation because she does have issues within her own family. But then she went to go tell her mom, knowing that her mom's a fucking chismosa and is gonna tell the whole family. But yeah, now you guys know like why I don't...
Braids. Please. The natural hair almost took me out. And my light just died. So let me start by setting the scene for you all, okay? I would also like to preface myself by saying I have learned my lesson, so don't try this again. So I'm at work probably a week ago now at this point. It's a pretty slow day. Like, it's not anything too chaotic, but like I had to get a bunch of sets done during the day because I was the only person that could really do it at the time. The deadline was that day. Okay, cool. I'm setting the set, but I'm also greeting the customer.
And so I'm texting my mom the whole time. I was just happy to be there, bro. I sat in the corner quietly the whole time, but like, you bet your bottom dollar I was posting on Snapchat that I was at a party. Guess who walks in? So I just text my mom, all her friends are here. My phone is on like 10%, and I was like, oh my gosh, my mom will kill me if my phone dies. I go inside, I plug my phone in, and I go back outside, and I'm starting to get comfortable. Like, everything's really going okay. I ran out of time before editing, but part 2 is already posted.
I actually cannot right now.
Get ready with me to break up with my boyfriend.
Like, are you okay? Oh god. One thing she was really good at was disguising literal constant shitting on me and putting me down as honesty. Ew. So half the time when she was like putting me down, I wouldn't even really like realize what she was doing and that she was doing it totally intentionally. But I do remember feeling like so fucking disgusting and drained after every time we hung out. Literally, even if we just went for a car ride, it would feel like the fucking life had been sucked out of me. I can visibly...
And I'm just like, why? And he said it was because he couldn't get it up. And obviously he was embarrassed about it, which is understandable. So I left the bathroom and didn't plan on telling anybody about it. Until I walk over to a group of my guy friends, and they're telling me that apparently Ryan told everybody that we fucked. So at that point, I didn't give a fuck, and I told them what actually happened. AKA that he couldn't get hard. And apparently he was mad at me after that, but I had no idea. So he said, do you still want me to take you home? So I said, yeah. And now that he drove...
They trying to be... They trying to be... She wanted me... $70 for the top alone. You're telling me $70 to show my fucking coochie on the beach? What? $70 to just cover a boobie. Coochie out. Coochie out. Illegal. It should be illegal. Need to do better. I'll not be buying another swimsuit off of Shein. I refuse to do it. Looks like we're all going naked this summer. If we do it together, it's not weird. All go swimming absolutely butt-ass naked. It's not that strange. It's only if you're like the odd man out. It's fine. It's not fine.
Story time about how my stepmom got with my boyfriend. So a little background information, I was 18 and it was my senior year of high school. And my mom and my dad got a divorce whenever I was 11 years old. My dad moved to a whole other state. My sister went with him, and then my brother and I stayed with my mom. Because my mom said it was a time where we need our mom in our lives. But to be honest, I think she just wanted child support. Anyways, after elementary school, I moved back in with my dad. And at the time, he was dating this woman who we're going to call Carol. And she was like the sweetest girl I'd ever met.
Oh my gosh. Come back for freaking part 3. Our friend group drama was crazy. Thanks for watching. See you later. Bye. Bye.
These are all the things my best friend of 13 years did to me that made me cut her the fuck off. Also, this is your sign to stop keeping shitty people in your life just because you've known them a long time and you go way back. Because going way back means nothing if they treat you like fucking garbage. So number 1, if I liked or showed interest or even got the slightest bit of joy out of
One question after the skin and hair questions.
Tell me about the worst date you've ever been on.
Stick with me. So when I was 17 years old, I was a youth leader at this church. We would go on these little retreats, and when we went on one of the retreats, there was this girl, and I was like, oh my God, like, I want to take you out on a date. And she was like, dope, let's do it. And I was like, great, ice cream? She's like, tubular. And we went out on the date, and it went really well. At least I thought it went really well. Turns out it didn't, because I got completely ghosted, like really ghosted. I ended up joining the army, getting deployed, getting back, becoming a youth leader again. Years goes by without me seeing her.
To be honest, like, I'm not no hater, so she's pretty, like, she's too pretty to be doing all that. Why are you doing all that? So yeah, I'm getting a little petty, catching little attitudes, cause like, why are you doing all that? And there was another time where I was just like, oh yeah, like, I want to slap her so bad. So I walked in the cafeteria to go grab my cap and gown one of these days, and I see her little minions laughing at me. And I shrug it off. I'm just like, okay, anyways. So, yeah. After I went to go get my cap and gown, I saw one of my...
And the whole time I was acting like I was fine, so that way I didn't want him to feel bad for me and felt like he had to get back together with me. And he was acting like nothing happened. Like I said, it was getting to the point where all my friends had started asking if him and I were back together. And I had to be like, no, we're not back together yet. Well, then Friday rolls around, aka 2 weeks later, and he tells me that he misses me. Shocker. So then he said he wanted to get back together. I said yes, obviously, because I still really liked him and I was a dumbass not to see the red flags. Well, now that it was second time around of us being together, and reputation in 2 days. So a little background information, I was 14 in 8th grade. I was in a very toxic friend group of 3, and we all secretly talk crap about each other. So 2 of the girls in my friend group decided that they didn't want to be friends with me anymore, for absolutely no reason. The one girl texted me saying, I don't want to be friends with you anymore, and then the other girl literally just played along with it, because she can't think for herself. She was like, yeah, I've been planning on doing this for like 2 weeks. So I got very embarrassed by this, because they started going around the school telling everyone, give me peso, extendo, I carry bitches like I'm Greco. And I didn't go up and get my phone because I knew that if I moved, this kid was probably going to hurt Josh again. So then this kid starts trying to punch me. So I punch him in the stomach. An adult comes on the bus, finally, like for part 2. Part 2 about how I got suspended for trying to stick up for some kid on the bus. So like I said, this kid is starting to try to punch me, so I punch him in the stomach. Finally, an adult gets on the bus. She yells at us to all sit down. And by the way, all the little fucking 12-year-olds had their phones out recording what was happening. Storytime, my gym teacher's wife found out that he was having an affair with me. So a little background information. I was a sophomore in high school, and the one night my friends and I were playing Truth or Dare. Well, a little bit into the game, my friends dared me to download Tinder and message the first 5 guys that I saw. And what do you know, the last guy that I saw on there was my gym teacher. So obviously I messaged him and I was like, hey, OMG, it's blah, blah, blah from your 3rd period class. And obviously I wasn't expecting him to answer, but he did. And he was like, oh, this is weird. How are you?
So then I decided to dive a little bit deeper into it and I text my manager because I'm like, let's see if she really has this account. Like if she's really signed with my agency, because if not, that just means she just made a fake email. Like it's not even a real email. So I text one of my managers and I'm like, hey, odd question, is this girl signed? I like told her the whole story. She was not signed. This email was completely fake, just to like copycat my exact bio down to a T. And even my manager said she's like never seen anything like that with her.
Home, like all of these weird things. So he somehow found my account and he sent me these screenshots and I was like, that's so weird. And we kind of connected the dots, and I think we realized that the person behind the account is probably most likely a man who's trying to, you know, use some girl's photos, which is me in the scenario, to get men to meet up with her so he can either rob them or like, you know, get some money out of them or something. That's what I assumed anyway. Anyways, again, whole process of me trying to get this account taken down, it's not getting...
He was letting me go to the spot I was at, I'm guessing his friend's house, to get my stuff, and I'm coming back home. I'm like, all right, bet. I'm like, yeah, because we need to be a team. Like, we are a team. Like, this ain't even us breaking up, you know. Okay, so he left in the morning, and he did not come back. Like, he did not come back, y'all. Like, I was so confused. I'm like, where the fuck is he at? Like, where are you? Where are you, babe? Where are you?
These people I didn't recognize, so which means they were, like, freshmen. Or maybe sophomores, but probably freshmen. So this one girl's like, oh my god, like, I like your bracelet or, like, something. She gave her a compliment, and she's like, thanks, like, I got it yesterday. Oh, where'd you get it? And she was like, oh, I stole it. And I was like, oh, okay. stealing is not that uncommon, so that wasn't the big shock. And then the other girl was like, oh, it's so cute. Like, do you think you could steal me one? The other girl was like, oh, yeah, like, I can steal it after school. Like, isn't your birthday soon? Like, it can be your birthday present. We can, like...
For her. Meanwhile, Brandy didn't even leave her wife, and she was planning on buying a house and adopting 2 out of the 3 kids that they have. But Taylor was low-key manipulated and low-key ignored every single red flag. So she did just that. She literally broke up her family for Brandy. And to this day, Brandy is still with her wife. And you would have thought that Taylor would have been like, okay, fuck this. But no, actually, instead, Taylor and Brandy decided that they were going to say that Taylor's boyfriend beat them both. So he...
He literally gave her stamp of approval. But I think his dad, when he found out, like, he wasn't used to someone marrying a non-Pakistani or someone from outside of their culture. So at first he was like, I don't know about this girl. Her family is very much into education. So he told them like, oh, she's a dentist. Even though his dad knew I was a dentist, he told Tamar like, Arab girls are known to not work. Even if she does get her dental degree, there's a good chance she's just not gonna work. Basically insinuating that I'm a gold digger. There's also a lot of just cultural differences and just the fact that like Arabs are known to not eat zabiha. A lot of this.
And they're like, fuck, I can't leave the bathroom right now. That's like weird. So they finish sucking face, and one of the girls is like, okay, like, I love you, bye. And she leaves the bathroom. And then another girl came in. I could tell because I was washing their shoes. Another girl came in and starts making out with the girl that was just making out with the other girl who just did the drug deal with the other girl. And they're like smacking on each other too. And then the new girl who just came in is talking about some like, oh, is your ex still bothering you? Like, God, she's so annoying.
And I remember times where I just remember being so happy, and then I like hang out with her and I'm so fucking sad after and just feel like shit about myself. My YouTube channel went viral in high school, so a lot of people always like hated me for that reason. I was very used to waking up to like a bunch of new tweets and like literal harassment towards me. And I will never forget this. Like, everyone knew we were friends. This random girl tweeted some long-ass hate paragraph, just like the most vulgar things that you could think of. But at the end of it, she said,
this girl wants to fucking fight me, y'all. Like, if you know me at school, I'm like one of the sweetest people. Like, I mind my business. I don't talk to anybody. Like, I have my 4 friends that I talk to all day. No, 5. That I talk to all day. If you don't see me talking to them, then I have my headphones in and I'm minding my business. So there's this girl, not gonna say names.
Hey. So like I said, I woke up at 3 in the morning because my phone kept going off, and it wasn't dinging or anything. It was just the light flashing when it would go off and on. So I look around for Madison, and then I see my bathroom light is on, but the door is shut. So I just brush it off and I go on my phone and I see a bunch of text messages that were sent from me, but they weren't sent from me. Like, obviously somebody had went on my iPad and started sending people messages. So I look at these messages and it's all texting Madison, my best friend. And he would low-key always hype me up on my thirst traps. So eventually I sent him a whole nude picture of myself. His cousin had a girlfriend, but neither of us were going to tell our significant others. And I told his cousin that I would sleep with him if he cheats on me again. Well, what do you know? A few nights later, he calls me starting an argument before he goes to the club. So I go to bed, I'm bawling my eyes out, and he calls me at 3 in the morning asking for me to get an Uber for him and some friends. But I hear a girl talking in the back.
That we locked the doors, but not to worry too much. Not long after it happened, I told the story to one of my friends. And he said, you only heard the door once. That means they were most likely already in the house. You just heard them leave. This is why you should never try using a Ouija board. My friends and I decided to play with a Ouija board after work in our office and spoke to a girl named Quinn. She didn't say much but seemed friendly enough, but when
I just flipped the switch.
Well, the girls in my friend group had no idea, so they invited me to their party. And at that party, it was my mission to do the dirty with every single one of those guys. Well, there was this bathroom in the basement, which nobody knew about except the girl whose house it was. So one after the other, I did the dirty with every single one of them in that bathroom. And I made sure to snap a picture or take a video, so that way I could send it to my boyfriend. I know, I'm crazy, get over it. Well, in the morning, my ex's closest best friend came over. Well, I did the dirty with him too, because my ex hated him.
The majority of those videos are based on me and my current boyfriend.
Mind you, she'd always tell me, hate your current boyfriend, and she'd sit there and make fun of him and say all these things about him when she knew I didn't feel comfortable with that and I didn't like it one bit. She just thought it was a big joke and she could say whatever she wants because she was my best friend at the time. Anyways, it was a whole bunch of videos bashing me, a whole bunch of lies. It was misleading lies about me personally and me and my boyfriend, and the whole reason for—
Hi.
The baby's sleeping.
Wake up! Wake up! Why did you do that? Why were you singing a lullaby?
The baby was crying, so I wanted her to sleep.
Lullabies are used for population control. When you sing a lullaby, the person will fall asleep immediately, and if they don't wake up before the timer ends, they'll die. Hey girl, I have a favor.
Sure, what's up?
I need you to sing me a lullaby.
No, you'll die.
My mom says everyone should start
Blah, blah, blah. I'm like, please start. And I'm pretty sure they walked off to go tell a teacher, but they didn't end up telling a teacher. But anyways, our friends, being the smart people that they were, they came down to this level that we were on, and they pressed the button from there. And the buttons were working on this level, but not at the level we were sitting at. So we get to the level that like all these like older girls are sitting at, and our friends are there now. And we get out and we're like, holy shit, it's like, thank God, I actually thought I was gonna die in there. And I remember the girls being like,
night we hang out and I sleep over at his house. I have to sneak over to his house, sleep over, and things go amazing. I finally like let him kiss me again. We make out, which I hadn't done because we were broken up. And I asked him, I was like, what's your ideal like situation with us? He was like, I want to be your boyfriend. That is my goal in life. Like, I want to be your boyfriend. I want to marry you. And I was like, interesting. Low-key considering it. Let's hang out tomorrow and we can talk more. You can come over to my house after a thing I have to do. We'll hang out and then you can sleep over. Great. So the thing I had to do was wedding. I go to the, still, I'm gonna be the one done dirty. I broke up with him because I just went to college. It was like a month into college and I was struggling. I still am. Low-key fucking hate it. College is not for me. I was down bad and I was being a terrible girlfriend. I did not have the brain power to deal with all that shit. Plus, he was a liar. He is a liar. He is a chronic liar. And he was just doing little shit that pissed me off. Like, he reposted another girl's Instagram post. Why are we doing that? He also had a full fucking roster on Snap.
Must be the shit if I really claim you. Bust it open, bend over, put my back in it. Heat addicted like it got a little.
We were actually hearing because it was so quiet, and then all of a sudden we heard someone banging on my neighbor's basement door. You know those metal doors that people usually have outside of their house that lead down basement steps? Yeah, well, that's where the banging was coming from. So my dad hopped over the fence to see if that's where the screaming was coming from also. And then not even a minute later, my dad hopped back over the fence and it looked like he saw a ghost, but he ran inside, called 911. Because I was so young, the only thing my parents told me about that whole situation was that the girl that I was friends with was still alive and her parents were keeping her in the basement along with two of her other siblings, but then
boys that were like doing super good at the sports. With me, she was just like rolling her eyes and like barely passing me. Dealing with high school mean girls is one thing, but then having the teachers do the same thing is embarrassing. I could literally make hours and hours and hours of videos of how horrible my high school was. Like, is this just my hometown?
I almost died at my last school, so get ready with me while I tell you the story. For some like weird reason, I have a feeling I've told this story on here before, but I don't think I have. So let me set the picture.
I was a slut, so why wouldn't I just do it? And I'm confused because I've never seen these boys a day in my life, so I was like, bro, what? Then he comes up again and grabs my arm. He's like, this is gonna be my last time asking you. Just give me what I want. I don't cuss at all. If you didn't notice, like, I don't cuss. And I was like, F off. And I started to have a panic attack while I was running down the stairs. And it gets worse, y'all. I'm running down all the stairs. At this point, I made it to, like, the first floor. And I'm just running. I did
the summer. They didn't really hang out over the summer too much. They may hang out, like, once or twice. And then the next school year comes. So now I'm a sophomore at this point. So it was kind of normal starting the year. Although I started texting her, like, oh my God, let's hang out. And she'd be like, yes. And then, like, out of nowhere, she'd cancel towards, like, last minute. Because she's like, oh, he said, like, we can't, like, I have to hang out with him. And I'm like... So I was getting pissed off, and so whatever. Time goes on, and this kind of keeps happening. I haven't hung out with my friend in, like, forever at this point, because he always said to be up her ass. And weird things would happen. I mean, everybody argues, but whatever. But we had a gym class together, and if you're a girl, you know what gym class means.
I'm gross for even doing anything with him. I should have known that he had a girlfriend. I should have told him off. Like, sis, your man did not mention you once. He didn't even mention you as an ex-girlfriend, so put the blame on him, not me. So later that day, he invites me over, and I am shook because I at least thought that he was going to bring it up and be like, why did you text my girlfriend? So I thought that maybe she was one of those girls where she's like, OMG, my man is never wrong. I'm not even going to confront him because I don't want him to break up with me, and it just wasn't his fault. So fast forward, I get to his house. I usually just walk in because
class around us. That's when Sabrina got involved again, and she said to Lisa, with your ugly eyebrows and your fat body, you're so ugly. I thought, stop. I'm not gonna say anything anymore. Sure, I don't like Lisa and I don't like her minions, but I would never say anything about the way someone looks. That's when the teachers came in and pulled us apart. That's when we went on to the next excursion, but it just didn't sit right with me that Sabrina made fun of the way Lisa and her minions looked. So I